Hello. So, this is a very different video. I think it's the first video in which I'm genuinely going to complain about something, but we're here on Cerebi because I think it's finally time to get my opinion on it about Urshifu, because this is a Pokemon that has bothered me. And the reason why I want to talk about it now is because if we look at Pikalytics, Urshifu Single Strike has finally hit number 1 at on the Series 7 Showdown ladder. We can check like Battle Stadium as well, but usually no, it's still number 1 there as well. Maybe a little different in the lower numbers. Yeah, like Finny's still up there, but like Urshifu has finally crept up to being number 1. And this video is going to be talking about why I don't like Urshifu. I really don't. There's just everything about Urshifu I just don't like. I just don't like him. So let's go over all of the individual reasons. Let's start off with just non-competitive. So when we're talking about like, I don't like his design. So to be frank, but that's not really that big of a deal. What is a big of a deal is they basically made an entire DLC around it. Like, the Isle of Armor was, let's be real, it was disappointing. And that's because pretty much all of it was focused around Urshifu and pretty much nothing else. Like, there were some cool features they added, things like the Max Soup and like being able to get vitamins easier, the new moves they introduced. But other than like the new Pokemon, it was all Urshifu. The whole thing was about Urshifu. So, it just felt like a waste. I just didn't like it. I was like, you just made this whole DLC for basically one Pokemon. And it just felt like they tried to push it so hard, and I just don't like it. And then it gets 2 forms. Obviously, you get the Dark form, which is the currently more popular one, and the Water form, which has still seen play. You obviously have their own G-Max and things like that, which I think the G-Maxes are interesting. They look kind of cool. But just like, in general, I'm just not a fan of it. Just because compare it to the Crown Tundra, okay? Obviously the Crown Tundra is a lot bigger and undergating. They brought back all the legendaries. But even besides that, they had, if you want to count up to it 5, or if you want to be at least minimalistic, 3 new legendaries in Calyrex, Glastrier, and Spectria. Which were really cool. Brand new anyway. Then you had 2 new Reggie forms in Reggie Draco and Regieleki. And you had the 3 Galarian birds. You had 3 different sections of the Crown Tundra DLC. And then you also had the Dynamax adventures, like in the caves as well, to find all the old legendary Pokemon. That was incredible, and it was a really good DLC. I really enjoyed playing through it, but when I played through Isle of Armor, it was all about Urshifu. And it was the only thing to do. There wasn't anything else. It was just Urshifu and go find 150 Digletts. Like, that was it. So, now that that's out of the way, competitively. Why don't I like Urshifu? Well, first of all, let's talk about why Urshifu wasn't as good as it was until now. If we go back to Series 5, will it show? Yes, Series 5. We go back to Series 5, and we look where Urshifu is. Urshifu's down here. Like, it's like still in like probably top. It's still top 20 for sure, but it's certainly not as dominant as it was. And why is that? Well, you look at some of the top Pokemon. Basically, Togekiss. Togekiss basically just said no to Urshifu. Sun was super popular, which meant that Venusaur outsped it. Dusclops was everywhere, trying to Trick Room. You had Primarina. Like, Fairy types are Dark types Urshifu's main weakness. And with Whimsicott, Primarina, even Clefairy, Togekiss, all these Fairy types kind of running around, it meant that Urshifu did struggle a bit more. I'm trying to think of any other fairies that would kind of... Oh yeah, Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl's still seeing play now. Mimikyu. Comfey. Oh yeah, because the whole, like, Lapras, Guja, Comfey core. So even in Series 6, where some of them... Okay, it got up there, but, like, if we look at, like, that's Series 7. Series 6 Battle Stadium doubles. You see a Moongus, Arcanine, Urshifu, Primarina, Talonflame, another great Pokemon against Urshifu, because, you know, priority Brave Birds. You still see, like, there were Pokemon to deal with Urshifu and keep it in check. And part of the reason with that was because of Fairy types. It was a very, very bad Pokemon into Fairy types. And part of the reason with Fairy's dominance is because there weren't really any good Steel types. And now there are. We've got Metagross, we've got Celesteela, we've got Kartana. We've got a lot of great Steel types which clear the way of the Fairies. Really, the only Fairy you see at the minute is Tapu Fini, which is the second most used Pokemon and one of the... and was number 1 for a while. Other than that, you see Clefairy still popping up. I guess Wims is still kind of popping up, but there's not really an offensive Fairy. Like, obviously Fairies are more defensive by nature, but, like, you don't see Togekiss nearly as much. Like, Togekiss just dropped completely. And again, Clefairy is not really isn't an offensive Pokemon. Like, the most you could say is a secondary Fairy type that's actually going to deal enough damage to Urshifu is probably Grimmsnarl, because that's starting to pick up and play. Not really reflected on here. It's still, like, pretty high, but yeah. Like, it's really cleared the way for Urshifu. And, obviously, things like the Thunderous Urshifu core have been starting to pop up as well in, like, recent weeks. Which has really made Urshifu shine. Because, you know, you just partner it with your Thunderous and then you can't be intimidated. Not like intimidating Urshifu really does much anyway. So, and like I say, with Thunderous as well as like one of the main partners, that clears Tapu Fini, you know, Urshifu's most common counter at the minute. So, that's like, that whole core is like something that's really made it so that Urshifu is also really like just be able to just put onto a team just because it's so good at what it does. So what does it do? And why, okay, so why do I hate Urshifu so much? And I think that the way I like to describe Urshifu is in Pokemon terms, it is ignorant. Now, what do I mean when I say it's ignorant? It takes two mechanics of Pokemon and just essentially breaks them. So, first of all, let's talk about its ability. Its ability, Unseen Fist, is it can deal damage with contact with moves that are protected, and its max version obviously can make Breakthrough Max Guard. Now, why do I not like this? Well, because it takes prediction out of the equation. It just means as soon as Urshifu hits the field, that's it. You can't protect in front of it. And so any form of, like, prediction or, you know, trying to weave your way around this very offensive Pokemon, its stats are not to be messed around with. You see it on Pikalytics, 130 attack, coming with a very powerful stab combination that, again, very kind of wall. It's not easy to deal with, and when it gets such good partners, it's such a dominating Pokemon, and when you can't protect in front of it, it makes the partner Pokemon just as scary as Urshifu, because, cool, Urshifu breaks through to protect, which means, realistically, like, even the partner Pokemon, the one that wants to protect, isn't realistically safe either. Because Urshifu can just go for the partner Pokemon and break through to protect. So, like, say you've got, like, I don't know, you've got, like, Spectria Fini on field. I don't know. You've got Spectria Fini on field against Urshifu Thunderous. Realistically, you want to protect the Spectria, but you can't. So you're forced to play offensive with it. But you can still protect your Fini from the Thunderous, right? Well, the Urshifu can just run Poison Jab and just break through it anyway. So so that's not even safe. And then, like, Thunderous often maxes anyway and can just break through it. So that has potential to take out a Fini anyway. So, it's not like Urshifu is a Pokemon that can just, like, is limiting. It doesn't limit you in any way. it gives you a fairy week, it gives you a flying week, which I suppose isn't the nicest thing right now with Landorus and Thunderous and like a couple other things just running around, but like even still, it's not as bad as like people would think. So it's just made Urshifu such a problem. Like I say, I just don't like the fact that it just ignores Protect. It just makes it such an ignorant Pokemon just to mechanics. And another one is Wicked Blow. And Surging Strikes as well, obviously. Obviously, I'm mainly focusing on Urshifu Single Strike because it is the more common, the more played, and the more established better of the two. Obviously, Rapid Strike has its own merits as well, but I think we've kind of come to see why Single Strike is better. And part of that is because Wicked Blow is more powerful. That and the better stab combination really helps, because, yeah, fighting types obviously are resisted by Psychic, and then the Dark kind of comes in there. So, Wicked Blow. In any other generation, I would have said Wicked Blow is an interesting move. You know, we've seen Darkest Lariat used on Incineroar. That's fine. But they just made Darkest Lariat but better. And they just made Darkest Lariat, you know, just 5 less power, but it always crits. So instead of 85 power, which is Darkest Lariat, it's 120. And that's without stab. It's a crazy powerful move that you could just lock into, and that's why you see, you know, Scarf and Banded Urshifu so common, but even then, Black Glasses, just to boost that Wicked Blow more, because you close combat when you can't Wicked Blow something, and you Sucker Punch when you need to outspeed something, and that's it. Otherwise, you click Wicked Blow and you go in, and Life Orb Urshifu hurts a lot as well. Obviously, Sash is seeing play as well, just a lot, for obvious reasons, because Urshifu will go down to 1 hit sometimes, because, you know, people will carry the coverage for it, but when this thing can stick around for 2 hits, it makes it so difficult to remove. And despite it seeming like it has low speed, it doesn't. It does not, like, 97 is not bad, like, in this format, because teams really only have usually one Pokemon that'll outspeed this. Because people want to make sure they've got their Trick Room open. They might have 2. They might have a Lecky and a Kartana, or something along those lines, like a Dragapult. They could have like Dragapult Terrakion. So probably like 1 or 2 Pokemon that'll be faster than it. So realistically, it just makes Urshifu so much more threatening. And like I say, I just don't like Wicked Blow. But like I was saying, in any other generation, I think it would have been tolerable. But because of max moves, like, constantly raising stats, and, you know, again, with the influx of Steel types, there's a lot more Steel Spites going around. Again, there's Kartana, there's Celesteela, there's Metagross, Glastrier is raising its defense. You've got plenty of Intimidate going around, with both Lando and Incineroar. So, when Urshifu can just go through all of that and ignore it, and like I say, just be ignorant, because it can just Wicked Blow, and no matter the circumstance, it's always gonna do that incredible amounts of damage. It's like, I just don't like how that plays. It's just not fun to go against. It's not fun. I've used Urshifu and I didn't enjoy using it, and I've gone against Urshifu and I can't stand it. Just because it changes the dynamic of the game on its head. Because suddenly you just have to think, well, what if Urshifu comes in now? And it does, and then sometimes you just lose because you can't like maneuver your way around the Urshifu well enough, because there's not a lot that it can that wants to take Wicked Blows from it, and the partners it is getting are good. Like you see Regieleki, that's the #1 partner because it slows down the Pokemon that are faster than it, and then just takes them out with Wicked Blow because it can just do that. So, I just don't know. Like, I really just don't like Urshifu as a design. It's so ignorant to 2 very common things right now, which is raising stats and protecting. Protecting has obviously always been common, and just, it's like, it would have been interesting if it was on a Pokemon that was weaker, but because it's so powerful, it's just not okay. And, like, the one saving grace is it can't break through max guard, but you can G-max it, and it can. Which you pretty much always run G-max Urshifu, if you end up running an Urshifu. But the thing is, you don't ever have to max it, because Wicked Blow does more damage, it only does slightly more damage in max form anyway. So, like, you have no reason to max it most of the time, unless you're literally trying to break max guard, or you want the extra bulk. So, it's just a Pokemon that I just don't like. Really, really don't like. And it's the first time I've really felt outspoken as much about a Pokemon. Like, even when I played 2016, and I was dealing with Xernea's Groudon every day, at least it was, like, expected and I knew what was coming. It was going to be a Geomancy Xerneas pair with a Moody Smeargle with Dark Void, and I knew that was what was going to happen. But you could plan for that, other than what happened after the Moody. But you knew that Moody was kind of it was random. But instead of just randomness, it's that you can just say, oh, it's Pokemon, it's random. No, Urshifu just changes the dynamic of the game itself. It just makes it not fun to play. And because it's just... If it was weaker, it'd be fine. But because it's so powerful and so just, like, dominating, because its partners now are so good for it, it just feels like a pain to deal with. And trying to play is just not enjoyable. It doesn't limit team building, in a sense, but it limits how you play. Because if you see Urshifu in Team Preview, you can't just go like, I'm going to protect Trick Room, because the Urshifu is just going to break through your Protect. It limits play, and it makes you have to think way more around things. And then you've got a partner Pokemon to think about as well. So, I don't know, I just really don't like Urshifu. And, like, if Gen 9 gets released, I really hope they don't bring this thing back. Or if they do, just nerf it. Like, please. Because it will need nerfing, because obviously there's not going to be a max guard next generation either. So, like, if they bring back Urshifu, then it's just going to be even more of a nightmare. So, like, nerf Wicked Blow. Please. It shouldn't do as much damage as it does. It's so dumb, and I don't like it. It's so stupid. Please get this stupid grown-up Pangoro out of my face. I hate it. It's so... Oh... I hate it so much. I just don't... I think it's been expressed how much I just don't like this thing. And I'll be happy once I just no longer have to deal with this stupid panda thing. So, yeah. But that is about everything I wanted to talk about complaining about Urshifu. If you enjoyed this sort of thing where, like, I kind of just talk about some VGC stuff, by all means, let me know. I know this one's a bit more of a negative one, because I just feel like I want to rant about something I really don't like. And, yeah. But if you enjoyed, you know, let me know. Obviously, tell me why I'm wrong in the comments and why Urshifu is a good Pokemon for the meta game. Or if you don't think it's as bad as I do, I just really don't like it on so many levels. In recent times, this might be one of my least favorite Pokemon created. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I will see you guys in another video, so take it easy, everyone.